go live here.
Morning, y'all.
Hey, Bucky, welcome.
How are you?
Okay, well, we should be live right now. I'm recording and we are immediately on the live stream in YouTube on the Patreon community. So we would be able to watch the recording immediately after this. It's all connected if I've done it properly.
All right.
So first of all, welcome to each and every one of you, and thank you so much for showing up here today. I've been very excited for this meeting, and a warm welcome to you and a sincere thank you to all of you. Because first of all, I haven't invited many people. I've invited a few. And from the few that I've invited, I've really requested of them to join only with a pure intention. And from the beginning, I said, I'd rather have just a few people joining with the purest intention for this than people that are not willing to see where this may lead. And where this may go exactly, I don't know. Like, we're going to open up a space and we're just going to see where we end up. But all I could perceive was that this was being placed in front of us. And it's asking us for a contribution in a place where the contribution is really required. And I called this the Ukraine light meditation, because in a way, Anna right here, I'm going to introduce her in a second. Anna is willing to be that portal for each of us to shine our light, and for each of us to give that little piece of contribution, a little piece from ourselves to be able to open up whatever this is. And this is also my question to all of you. Like, I don't have a script in what we're going to do here, right? I don't have a perfect outline in what we're going to do in this session. I'm going to start, and if it comes forward, each and every one of you could say something. If you don't feel the need or don't feel the space, you don't have to. But I also feel like with this group of people, something might come up and you might want to share something or do something. So feel free. We're going to address different things. And for now, I want to ask Anna to give us a short introduction and a short summary of how we came to this, because Anna was part of a conversation that I think it was Bucky and Philippa, and I think also Deanna was on that call, how we started talking about our goals in life, our spiritual paths, whatever was going on. And we just started to talk about, I started asking Anna how things were where she lives right now, how things were going, if she was willing to share. And that's when she started sharing about an experience that happened in the Ukraine where there was a flooding. And we were talking about the significance of the flooding and the actual meaning of the flood. And we were talking about the meaning beyond what we talk about as humans, right? Humans usually talk about a situation or about an experience where we talk about, oh, well, this is terrible, this is bad. There was a disaster that happened and it's also terrible. But what we were looking at was, hey, what's really going on here? And what is it that we really need to see here, what is going on? And that's when Anna started talking about different spirits of the land and the elementals. And Anna, I'd like to give you the space right now and talk about it, and give us a short summary in what this means to you, and give us some more insight about, you were talking about this national day that you have in Ukraine. So I will spotlight you, and the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, hello everyone again, and just let me tell how grateful I am that you are all doing this on a lovely Sunday afternoon. So yeah, as Ruby mentioned, today is a national holiday in our country. It has a Ukrainian name, Ivana Kupala, so it's not translatable, sadly, but it is the holiday of connection with the elements, basically, with fire, with earth. People go to the lakes, they collect flowers, and they just enjoy nature and give gratitude to the nature. So, and one of the main rituals, which is at 8 p.m. approximately, so before the midnight, people make a huge bonfire, and it's like, and you jump over the bonfire in the sense of cleansing your soul. So basically, it's about cleaning your soul. Um, so we're living in a state of war for the third year already, and last year the nature through our enemies showed what it can make based on the history. So we came to this point where we just started discussing the tragedy that happened last year in summer in the Kherson region. There was a hydroelectric station. It was occupied at that moment, and our troops and forces were approaching to deoccupy everything. So the other side decided to blow up this hydroelectric station, and of course the flood started to happen. Lots of people died, sacrificed their lives, but we ended up finding out that historically on the place where this station was built, so it was built by the Soviet country, which basically also occupied our territory at the time. There was a place in our history where we had our warriors, historical warriors, Kozaki. So, and they were fighting against the Russian Empire back a long time ago. And when the Queen Catherine, as far as I remember, came, she just buried them all in that place where the station was built many years later. And it was a huge cemetery of these warriors. We call them harakterniki. It means people, so not only warriors, but also the spirit talkers, the people who can understand animals, and they work with elements. At least that's what the legends say. And now that there is no water, no station there anymore, this whole area of the cemetery where they're all buried now is free. It's just a plain place. And now people decided not to touch it anyway, just giving respect to this land. So no rebuilding is going to be planned. But when the flood came, a lot of people in Ukraine, especially those who live near the sea, like in my case, for example, we just came up to the Black Sea coast and we started asking gods, spirits, whoever, that all other regions are not to be flooded as well, because there were lots of dead animals, dead people, just following the way of the water already to this big sea. So it was a huge genocide, I can even say. But the spirits of the land are, I don't know, maybe it actually works in this case, but there was a try of the other side to come back to the territory to occupy it again, but they couldn't be able to cross specifically that area with the graves of our historical warriors. So they just couldn't. We don't know what, but the armors broke down, the weapon didn't work. So we just started thinking that maybe actually the elements and the earth, which was hurt very much too, just started paying back a little bit and showing human their place that we should appreciate where we live on. Plus, overall, Ukrainians are very thoughtful about the earth. We have many holidays connected with the earth, and we used to be those people who believed in the god of sun or wind, so a lot of elements. And we still kind of have that a little bit, even though we're Christian now, but still we're like, okay, jump through the bonfire to clean the soul. So yeah,
Yeah.
we still believe in that a lot, and it was a huge tragedy, but maybe it had a big sense, even though it was lots of tragedies. So yeah, something like this.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. And it's a good way of explaining, yes, it's a tragedy, but we also have to be willing to let go of the judgments that we have and to go beyond the judgments that we have of human beings in these circumstances and losing people. And I'm not minimizing it, but it's like we have to be able to look at it from a different point of view. Like things happen for a reason. And this is exactly why we came together today. First of all, I think it's amazing we're coming together in a day where you say it's a national holiday, talking about the elementals of the earth and connecting with that. And as you were saying, well, we're big believers of the spiritual elements of the sun, of the moon, and all these things. And even though we're Christians now, and I guess especially in this group, the people that we are here now, I think we can say that we are very much believers that all is oneness. Like it's not just Christianity, or it's not just the elements of nature. Like it's all together, right? Like God created the earth with all the elements of the earth, and it all works together. And I believe we couldn't just say like we're either a Christian or we believe in the energy of the sun. Like it's all, right? Mother Nature or earth, it all works together. And by putting a label on it, by saying it's either Christianity or it's witchcraft, like that's not it, right? There's the earth, and there's the law of the universe, and there's the physics of the earth. Somehow we don't want to label it, and we just want to go to the truth about all of that. And what I've learned, and I loved when you started talking about the spirits of the earth and the elementals of the earth, because I was like, well, Anna, that's what I do. Like, that's what I focus on. That's what I communicate with. And I know for a lot of people, that's a little bit, weird, but I don't care. I don't care, because the thing with working with energy and working in the spiritual field is you don't have to believe it, because as you experience it, you actually don't believe it, because it's so magical and it's so amazing what shows up if you would only surrender to the whole universe. It's not a matter of believing, it's just a matter of experiencing it. And what I want to do today is I want to just open up to all the energies that are here and all the energies that want to flow. And I just want to see what shows up. And no matter what happens, all I know is that if we are willing to shine light on this, if we are willing to allow the spirit of light to flow, like wherever there is light, there cannot be darkness. And especially the place where you are now, I also see that a lot of darkness wants to take over all of the goodness that is there. It's actually the job of darkness, right? The darkness is there to dim the light and to take over everything that's coming from the light. And all that we have to do coming from the light is to just simply shine our light, and that includes the elementals of the earth. That includes the spirits of the earth. And I also think it's very interesting what you were saying. What did you say? Was it Queen Catherine? Did you say, was that the name that you used?
Yeah, I believe it was the Queen Catherine of Russian Empire at that time.
All right. And so she was involved in burying all these people in that cemetery, right?
Like she basically threw them away from the land, which was naturally their land, because her troops started coming in, and firstly they made an agreement that, hey, this is our part of our land, please let us have it. or there are gonna be some consequences. And she fooled them, and sadly they were surrendered at night, and most of them were killed, and they were like buried by themselves in that place.
Right.
So
Okay. And from that moment on, did the Queen of Russia take over that part of the land?
yeah.
And right now it's back in Ukraine territory.
For 50-50, like officially it is, but in the terms of war, it was occupied for 2 years, and now it's like divided. So the part with where the land stands right now, the cemetery is like a border, I would say. They cannot move through that part.
Yeah, okay. So the reason why I'm asking, because this is pretty interesting, because this is where the energy will take us. Like if there were settlements in the past, or if there was a disbalance in the energy exchange, and things are not settled in the energy, things are not settled spiritually, it would always find a way to manifest in the physical. And I from the beginning, when this war started and things were about land, were about gas, were about, all these controlling things that people are talking about right now, I was like, it can never be about the superficial things. There's always something underneath, because there's always something in the energy that will make sure that something else would manifest. And now that you're talking about all these things that happened centuries ago, it reminds me of something that when I read the Bible in the parts where there were so many wars in the Old Testament, and so many vows and so many decrees and so many oaths were taken. If people are not conscious about the vows that they make, the universe will keep us to it. Did you have a question, Felina? Oh no, okay, sorry. So this is a very interesting part, that even though things have happened centuries ago, as you were saying, these spirits still haven't won or lost their battle. Because even though the bodies died, the spirits haven't died. And so they will just, all these energies will still do their thing and will still move around. And even though we don't see them, it's still happening. And that's the thing with a lot of people nowadays on Earth, because people don't believe in it and because people don't see it, they feel like it's not there. When, if we talk about inclusion, this is exactly what inclusion is about. Inclusion also means include the elementals that you don't see with your eyes, because it's still there. And even though all these people in the past, they died and they were buried, it doesn't mean that their energies are not still alive. So if you guys would allow me, I would actually just want to start with clearing something with all these entities and all these energies that would basically clear the way, and we'll clear some energies just to get some more space altogether. And then we'll just see where we'll go. So first of all, let's start by honoring these spirits. Let's start by honoring the spirits of the earth. Let's start by honoring all these spirits that were warriors centuries ago. And let's start by honoring the land. Let's start by honoring the whole country. And not just the place where you are right now, Anna, but let's just honor the whole country, because the borders, human borders, country borders, they're made up by human. Like the earth doesn't know borders, right? The earth is just the earth. The borders of the countries, they were designed by humans. And the borders of countries, especially in those territories, have been moving around. people have been taking over countries, people have occupied countries, people have moved borders of countries. And in a way, it doesn't even make sense because the earth doesn't know borders. We came up with borders. And with we, I don't mean we, I mean just people living on earth. And we align and agree with the borders. And somehow we've decided that it belongs to us. It belongs to a country. It belongs to a group of people. When basically the earth belongs to the earth, or in a sense, it belongs to all of us. But then it belongs to all of us if we deal with it in a respectful way. So everywhere where we've decided that humans decide where the borders are, let's just eliminate and eradicate all of that. And now let's imagine, because in a way we should use our imagination to go to this part of the world. And do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, Anna? Can I use you in just going for the energetic way here?
Sure.
So in terms of light versus darkness, can you give me a percentage of how much darkness is there versus how much light? How would you divide it in percentages?
I would say 60, probably 60 darkness, 40 light.
Okay. Okay, cool. And I will be using some of the clearings of access consciousness. I will be using the access consciousness clearing statement just because it works really well. So everything that brings up or lets down, for everyone on this call, let's destroy and uncreate it, right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, boys, poets, and beyonds. So what will it take for all of us to increase the percentage of light? So just a simple question, Anna, what would it take for you? What would it take for you to be willing? If you would literally have a knob to turn, if there's something where you can just turn up that percentage from 40%, what would you do? What would you choose? If you could choose anything in the world, what would you do?
I would choose peace. I don't know, I would do anything to stop this.
Okay.
I would stop from my people dying for sure.
Wonderful. So what if I told you that the only thing that was required was to take that switch and move it up, just like you use a volume switch, and you would just
show me the switch.
Yeah, like a like a dimmer in your house, and you can dim the light, you can turn it down, and you can turn it up to like the maximum light in the room. And I know this is gonna sound like a stupid question, but really, if I ask you, what would you do? Would you go and turn that switch, or do you feel like something is stopping you to put that light on maximum volume?
That's a good question, actually. It sounds stupid. I think that I would switch it on for sure, but I would, I don't know, state, for example, a condition to our government at some point that, hey guys, you like stop doing what you're doing, and then the switcher can work completely. Like they would wanna have to implement as well into switching it, stuff like that.
Yes. So here's what we're gonna change right now, because here I want to show you how powerful you are, how powerful each and every one on this call is. And this part means setting the standard. Like, what if at this point, we're just going to pretend like we have nothing to do with the rest of the world. Right now, you have nothing to do with other people in the country, what they're choosing. You have nothing to do with the government. What if right now we can decide this is the standard that we're living in? In my house, in my space, in my energy, only love and light in my space. No darkness can come in. This is what I decide. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? You have your own space, you have your own energy. It's like, well, whatever the rest of the world is choosing, but in my space, I only choose love and light. I don't care what you're willing to do. I don't care if you want to listen to the whispers of the devil. I don't care if you want to move into evil places. I don't care if you want to play with darkness. But in my space, this is what I go for. This is my standard, and I have boundaries. And if you decide to come into my space, you're more than welcome. But this is my standard. Only love and light in my space. And this is for each and every one on this call. And anyone listening to this in the future. Like, are you willing to hold that standard in your space? This is what I'm having. Nothing less. Does that work for you? In terms of, like, how much are you willing to be that energy? What number comes up? What percentage?
85.
85. Okay. Everything that brings up or lets down, let's destroy, no created, right, wrong, good, bad, papa, nitrous, boys, poets, and beyonds. Because let's be honest, 85 is not 100.
Yeah.
Right? So again, if we're talking about that light switch and we want to turn it to like the maximum, you said, oh, you know what? I'm willing, but only 85. Only 85. That means you're still allowing 15% of shadow.
Sure.
And
Yes.
you can. I mean, you are allowed to. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just that what's going to create greater, right? Because if we are willing to allow 15% of shadow, the shadow is going to try to increase again. And it's going to try to move up. Because if you give it 15, it's going to take 20, then it's going to take 30, then it's going to take 40, then it's going to take 60. And before you know it, it's going to take your 85. And this may sound a little bit tough, but if we're going to that direction where we're not allowing anything but light in our space, we have to be willing to choose the 100%, or maybe even go beyond and say 1,000%. This is what it's going to be. Only love and light in my space. And that's why we get to the point of, you know, I'm sorry, but this is just what it's going to be. And this has nothing to do with not honoring the other side. I mean, darkness is darkness, and we can treat it without judgment. But let's be honest, if we give it 15%, it's going to come back for more. And are we willing to allow it?
No.
Because it's going to have repercussions, right? Something is going to happen if we allow it.
Yeah.
So let's ask the question again. How far are you willing to go for that light to actually?
More than 100.
Awesome. Awesome. So now look at the energy. I'm just going to close my eyes here for a bit. Look at the energy of the spirits that you've just mentioned and those warriors that died. Without taking sides here, right? Because many times we see, okay, so we have this Russian empress or queen or whatever she was, and then we have the people fighting for their land or whatever that is. Sometimes it's just, these are just the patterns that humans go through. There's no right or wrong, right? We're not supposed to fight each other. So everything that this brings up of fighting for countries, fighting against, winning or losing. Let's destroy, now create, all of that, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, and Aishers, boys, poets, and beyonds. And all of the anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, guilt, compulsive, obsessive, addictive, perverted points of view, love, sex, jealousy, peace, life, death, living, reality, business, doubt, relationship, and fear, and all of these distracting emotions that are keeping us in a loop, that are keeping us in constant war with each other. Can we now please revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and now create all of that times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, and Aishers, boys, poets, and beyonds. And if you guys will allow me, I'm just going to go ahead and just do a couple of clearings in a row, because I feel a lot of heaviness and a lot of tension. So everything this is, and everywhere where all of these entities are stuck in a place and are unable and unwilling to choose, let's destroy, now create all of that, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, and Aishers, boys, poets, and beyonds, and all of the entities that are ready to be cleared right now, all of the entities in the whole of Ukraine and Russia, and every part of Eastern Europe right now. Truth, who are you? Who are you before that? 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 And who will you be in the future? Truth, what are you? What will you be for that? 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 And what will you be in the future? Truth, what are all of your jobs? What was your job for that? What's 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 job for that? What will your job be in the future? Thank you very much. You may now leave. Take your personal luggage and magnetic imprinting with you. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, and Aishers, boys, poets, and beyonds. Anna, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you see any ancient portals that are still open, that are not for the highest good of the country and the area? You don't have to visibly see them, but if you have a sense of like, yes, there are portals, like yes or no?
I don't have a sense of portals, but I had a feeling of those warriors, and the only feeling that I could feel was tiredness and exhaustion.
Right, right. Are they tired of fighting?
Yeah.
How much of them fighting keeps the country locked up?
No, not many of them are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them, like they're trying to get up to hold the swords, but they're like just stumbling already and like looking at me and like, I cannot do this anymore.
Right. So, okay, let's ask them a question. Let's communicate with them. They're looking at you. They're like, I cannot do this anymore. And this is interesting. I think this is very interesting. And also for you, like, why are they looking at you? What are they looking at you for? What do they require from you?
I don't know. They just, Like I feel like so I'm looking like from my point of view, another third point of view, like there's something bright yellow around me,
Mm-hmm.
and they just like turning the eyes, the sides, and the fingers to for me to look somewhere. But they see something, and where I turn the hand, the side, it's just darkness. But they see something in there, and I cannot really see what that is.
So are you willing to see what it is?
I'm trying.
Yeah, that's okay. Like sometimes we need to open our or we use our imagination. So you don't have to see it yet, but if you're willing to see it, it will open up. So my question is, truth, Anna, are you willing to see it? Yes or no? Like be honest.
Yes.
Okay. So everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, unconscious, boys, prophets, and beyonds. What are they pointing at?
A very black wave, like a tsunami wave, but it looks not like water, but maybe like oil more.
Okay. And where they are pointing, is that in your vicinity? Is it somewhere outside of you? Is it far away? Where is it?
It's like another direction from me.
Okay. And it's coming towards you or somewhere else?
It's like coming towards them, and I'm just like standing separately,
Yeah.
but by their side. But I understand that for me, there's no danger, that it won't touch me, as if it will just go around me. But I understand that they will probably like drown underneath it if I don't help them.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. So that means that they see that you have power, you hold the light. And like I said, when you hold the light, when you say only love and light in my space, that means that that dark tsunami will not cover you. Because as soon as that dark tsunami touches you, it will disappear because light is always stronger than darkness, always. Now, a part of this is that they are also living in a lie because in essence, they hold the power of light as well. They just don't know it yet. So what if you're able to teach them, like, hey, soldiers, you hold the light as well. And what if you would just shine your light and just allow your light to be in their space as well? And just tell them, switch on your light, each and every one of you. Now, if each and every one of you just switch on your light and turn it to the highest position, what happens?
Some of them just disappear, but those who left, they're just like looking at me, and they become not so dark because they were pretty dull before. And now like it's as if their armor starts to shine, something like that.
Nice. Nice. All right. Now, is there something else that they're asking from you? I'm just going to close the door because it's raining very hard. Now that they're standing in front of you and their armors are lighting up and they're shining, is there something that they want to tell you?
No, they just one of them, like I think he's the oldest one, the strongest one. He just like gives me like this, shows me like his sword and says like take it.
What happens if you take it?
I don't know, kind of scared of taking it.
Yeah, okay. So ask him. Ask him. So what do you want me to do with this? What happens if I take it from you? What would he say?
It says to put it from all my power, just to pull it into the earth, like this,
Yeah.
like as if to wake up the land.
Yeah. And is the land ready to receive that? Is the land willing to wake up and to get that sword and to just spread the light? Is that what the land is asking for?
Probably.
So if that's what the land is asking for, are you willing to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so take the armor, take the sword from this soldier, from this commander, and intentionally, with love and light, just put it in the earth. And tell me what happens when you do that. Tell me what you see.
I don't see anything anymore except for a bright light. So like I feel like I was pushed away. It was this huge wave of brightness and light that I can barely see through it.
Nice, nice. So tell me, what does this light represent for you right now? What does it represent?
Happiness,
Right? What else?
guess hope. And I see the soldiers and they're like, we're free to go,
Where do you want to go?
to rest, to the other world. I don't know.
Like, do they have, like, do they want to fight at all? I guess not, right? They're like,
No. No, they're just smiling and just like disappearing with a smile.
so how grateful are they right now?
I think they are.
So this is my question for you. Are you willing to receive their gratitude?
I guess so.
And so if you're willing to receive their gratitude, just do something for me. Just open your heart and think of their gratitude as like this energy flow, and just allow their gratitude as a, do you know the Care Bears, right? How the Care Bears had these things on their belly and they would just have this energy flow, and just imagine that they are flowing gratitude towards you and you're receiving it through your heart. And just let it flow through you. Just let it flow through you and allow it into your space, into your energy field. How does that feel?
Warm.
Right.
In the woman, I feel less anxious than I used to be.
Right. So is there somebody else there who wants to speak to you?
No.
Is there somebody that you want to speak to? Is there something that you have to say in general, if you could?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Just because right now I feel pretty peaceful, like as if I'm standing on some edge of some small mountain or something, and just like looking, admiring all the views. There are no people around, no buildings around. The grass is super green, as if it is like a, I don't know, fresh start. Like the earth, the land is completely rebooted. Like it
Yeah,
cleaned off everything. And
that's
I'm in a very long white dress, which is a very light one, like very like as if wind can blow it.
nice, nice. So, and just give me an estimate. So this area that you're looking at now that just had a reboot, how big is that area?
It's big. I can see the the borders of it.
So is it smaller or bigger than the country?
I think it might be bigger.
Good. How much further can you spread this energy? Like, I love what you're seeing right now, and I love how you described it. Can we, and I'm asking the rest who's on the call right now, let's connect. We're all here. We have Bucky, we have Felina, we have Fadua, we have Philippa, and we're all in different parts of the world. Let's connect our lights. Let's connect to the energy that you were just describing of the land. And now ask that energy to expand everywhere where we are and the way that we are connected. And we are all in oneness. And we're connecting all these parts of the earth. And do you hear how quiet it is? It's so quiet and so peaceful. And this right here is a frequency. This is a frequency, and maybe you even hear the high pitch. This is the frequency of love and light. And where there is light, no darkness can exist. And what can we shift and change and attract to higher frequencies? Anna, I feel like I want to move to Bucky just for what's going on right now, unless you have a question, and we can always move back to you, but for now, are things good, or is there anything else that you want to ask or say?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna invite you, Bucky. Not sure yet where I want to go with this, but I feel like I want to ask you with your energy what it is that you saw. Anna was, of course, very clear in what she saw in her vision. Can you share with us? Because I'm sure there was something that you saw.
Yeah, absolutely. There was toward just a few moments ago, kind of towards the end, I started seeing children running and playing through the field, and butterflies and flying around them, and like a dog chasing them. They were like playing chase in the field, and happy and just carefree. But I felt behind that was a gloom of despair, feeling like war was coming back. That it's imminent, actually, and but in my feeling, though, it's like the children will play until the war shows up. You know, children will be children. They don't really understand that. So, um, um, I don't really feel a sense to address the war that could be coming. What I what I would think would be a better way to do that would be approach the elementals of the border and ask them if war is necessary to come there, and if so, what's allowing it to come, and if not, can we stop it before it gets there? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That's a good one. Well, as I was telling myself, I'm just going to mute you for a sec to see if that's you. And of course, you can unmute if you want to talk. But in the beginning, when I was talking to Anna, when she was telling the story about what happened centuries ago, it reminded me of, as I was reading the Old Testament, a lot of wars were happening because it seemed like people didn't know what else to do, right? It was just a way of living, of just moving towards another part of the country or moving to another country or just occupying cities, occupying land. It was just like the patterns that they were living in. It was normal. And in that Bible scripture, you also see not just the patterns, but the vows that they took or the promises that they made, or they were saying, well, this is going to be this for generations and generations and blah, 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 blah. And it's like unconsciously people are taking this, right? People are not consciously going back to history. Basically, people do not even know about old vows that people have taken or promises that people made, and then they give it from generation to generation, and we are just carrying the generational curses. And like these warriors that Anna was talking about, they died and they are still fighting, and they are fighting for centuries and centuries, and they're just standing here saying, you know what, I'm tired. I'm just tired. Like they don't even know why they keep fighting, but it's all up there in the energy. And what I would like to do right now is just basically also look at all of the oaths and the vows that people have taken, that they've given generation to generation, thinking that they have to fight, thinking that they have to do it, and it becomes normal in the energy, but it's not normal. And so let's do it right now, like all of the oaths, vows, swearings, fealties, commitments, communities, promises, binding and bonding contracts that our ancestors made in any and all lifetime. To fight and to never stop fighting. Let's revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate, all of that times a gazillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, boys, poets, and beyonds, because they don't, it's like they don't know what promises they've made. And then all of the families, all of the generations after that, they just took it on, and they just felt, there's this sense of, like, if we have all these entities here in this country, and they're like, we have to fight, we have to fight, we have to fight, we have to fight. This is what everybody in the country picks up. And these children that you were talking about, like, children are so aware, right? Children are so sensitive to energies, and without really knowing what's going on, they are receiving all of these energies, and they are receiving all of these thoughts from these entities, thinking, all these warriors, like, we have to fight, we have to fight, we have to fight for the country, we have to fight for this, we have to fight for that. And it's like, no, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. So everywhere where all of the children have decided that they have to fight for their freedom, they have to fight for their existence, they have to fight for just being alive. Let's revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, now create, all of that times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, boys, poets, and beyonds, and all of the lies and all of the deceit. And this is not on purpose, right? This is not always deliberate, but this is just the energy that is there. And this is the energy, these are the limiting beliefs that these warriors from centuries ago are carrying with them for not knowing any better. This is what they had to do. This is what they gave their life for. This is what they gave their life for, even just a couple of decades ago. And people always say, like, we don't want to repeat history, where we are repeating history because we're not clearing the energy from history. We're holding on to the energies from history. We're not even releasing the pain and the guilt and the sorrow and the suffering. And that's exactly what we just did with Anna. Anna just set these soldiers free. She told them, it's enough right now. You're done. If you don't want to fight anymore, you do not have to fight. Give me your swords. Give me your armor. Go and find the light. I will set you free. And this is something that you just did, Anna. You set those soldiers free, which gave them freedom, which then will give all the generations after them freedom. Because the generations right now that are fighting for their ancestors. And they don't have to. What does that show you in your vision now, Bucky, after doing this clearing? What showed up for you?
Well, I'm still feeling like the kids are still happy, and that there's decisions being made to release the old thought processes, the old dogmas of war, and choose a higher, better reality, peace, love,
And do you
light.
feel like the children are willing right now to choose that, or are they still on the edge of choosing it?
No, I think they're willing, more than willing.
Yeah, right. Is there anything still holding on to the past? Do you feel like there's still some energy attached to the past and to that old thought pattern?
Yes, and I sense it's in the land itself.
Okay, good. Okay, let's look at that. So it's in the land itself.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And what I'm sensing is this the blood in the land, because the blood cries out from the land.
Right.
And it's the blood of Abel crying out. But the blood of Christ has a better word than the blood of Abel. The blood of Christ says forgiveness, where the blood of Abel says recompense, says justice. And that's Hebrews 12:22 or something like that. 24.
Let's look at the energy, and let's look at the energy of the land. Because I hear what you're saying. So right now, if we would ask, like, is there anything else required? What if we would just wash away all the guilt, all the pain, all the old blood, and we would just use the energy that we have here right now, and just imagine that there is this
Wow.
massive amount of energy just flowing through the land and just cleansing.
Here's in verse 25 this of Hebrews 12. It says, "See that you not refuse him that speaketh," and that's Christ that's coming with redemption to speak the better word of forgiveness. So we just ask the land if it's willing to forgive.
Right. And is the land willing to forgive? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, the proclamations, voice, poets, and beyonds.
It's like they didn't know that they couldn't choose.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is exactly what I want to point out here, how easy this can be. Like these entities were stuck in a place, and all we're saying is shine your light and let go, right? And they let go. And they handed in their armor to Anna, saying, thank you, Anna, for setting us free. And now we have the land that is sort of stuck with the old blood of Abel, as you would say it. Like, no, what if we can just wash it out? Are you good? Like, can you forgive us and can you forgive yourself? And the land is like, oh, I didn't know I could. Can I? Yes, you can. Here you go. And it's that easy. Like, we don't have to struggle. We don't have to fight. We don't have to come up with. I know this also looks like this is some kind of session or we're just, we're shifting energies, but basically it's that simple. We just ask for it and we just demand it.
I see where the blood has been in the dirt in the ground, and it's like the minute that we asked and it said yes that it would allow that to happen. It's like the blood went through the filtration of the earth. So it literally enriched the soul and made the soul actually fertile and I don't know what the word is, but made it fertile again.
Yeah, I get it. I have another question for you, Bucky, because I think this one is very important. So would you please imagine again, without country borders, but we want to focus on a certain area. So focus on the area of Ukraine and the bordering countries and just the whole area of Eastern Europe, part of Russia, go south a little bit to the Middle East, just that area. And now I'm asking you, like, can we allow the light to be in that area? Is it there? Do you see any dark spots? And if you do, can you please light up the whole area for me? Just imagine you see the world map and just light up that area.
Yeah, it's interesting you say it like that, but yeah, it feels resistance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I was talking the other day about how the sun and light doesn't go to the darkness and to rebuke it and to cast it off. It just simply starts showing up, and as the light shows up, the darkness decides that it can no longer stay within it.
Exactly.
And it has to flee.
Exactly.
So it's a matter of just. It's like I see somebody, and I'm assuming it's me walking through the land, and as the further I go, the more light abounds all around me.
Right. I'm imagining it like let's say a book opening up, and then it opens up to like that part of the world, and all I see is just this light dome, just everywhere, right? And as we see that light dome, let's imagine some darkness wants to enter. Tell me what happens, Bucky, if something of darkness wants to enter in that light dome. What happens?
Well, it simply goes to the darkness goes to the light and tries to overcome it, but the light simply asks it if it must, because that spirit isn't required anymore.
Okay.
And it's like it just doesn't realize that the thought that keeps coming to mind here is that it's the scripture that talks about that when a house is clean, if it's not kept clean, that the spirits will go away, but then they'll come back and they'll see if the house is still kept. And if the house is not kept, then it'll go and get 7 spirits more strong than it is and come back and fill the land. And so the point is that once we cleanse the place, that we fill it with the love and light that is unable to leave, that the love and light stays there with angelic protection. So we place the angels in those places to stand guard and to stand over the land and allow the light to continue to be ever increasing.
Right. Yeah. And something that I really want to stress here, and this also has to do with what Anna and I were earlier talking about with the 15%, right? Her just having the 85 in the beginning. It also has to do with what are we allowing? Like, we are all holding the light and we all have the authority. So if you've decided right now, like, this is an area of light, darkness would still want to come and try to enter. But the thing is, darkness will not come as darkness. Darkness will always come in disguise. And this is an analogy that I've been using very often lately, is darkness or evil comes in a scale, let's say a scale from 1 to 10. And whenever it comes in an 8, 9, or 10, it's clear. Everybody recognizes the 8, 9, or the 10. What people don't recognize is the 1 or the 2. So we will allow the 1 or the 2 because it's not very clear that it's darkness or that it's evil. Or we will allow the 1 or the 2 because we think it's part of life. And I'll give you an example of the 1 or the 2. The 1 or the 2 are doubt, shame, regret, guilt, right? Just small part of distracting energies. And we think it's part of life. But if we allow anything on that scale, even if it's just a 1 or a 2, it will grow. And at some point, it becomes a 7 or 8 or 9. And then it's going to become very clear. And then it's going to be hard to get rid of it, or you have to work really hard. So this is where I say, anything on that scale, I will not allow. Even if it's only a 1 or a 2, I'm going to be really strict. And I'm going to say, no, only love and light in my space. And even though it's only a 1 or a 2 on the scale of darkness, it is still the scale of darkness. And I'm not allowing, because I said my standard is only love and light in my space. That means nothing on the scale from 1 to 10 of evil or darkness belongs in my space. And some people have issues with that. They don't really like that. But I'm going to say I'm sorry, because if I allow the 1 or the 2, the 1 or the 2 will become a 3, a 4, a 5, a 7, a 9, a 10, whatever that is. And I'm saying no to that. And that's something that we all need to look at. Like, how much are we willing to allow? Because darkness, right? You give it one finger, it'll take your whole hand. Because that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to distract you. It's designed to dim your light. It's designed to slow you down. And the moment when you give room to darkness or to shadow or to evil, you're not fully shining your light. It's as simple as that. And then we all wonder how it could come so far. Like, how do we end up in this place? Like, why is everything going from bad to worse? But why? It's because you allowed all the things on the lower scale of darkness. And that's where we need to start. And that's what we need to eliminate. And it's actually more of a kindness to choose that. You have to be willing to be stronger than darkness. That's all we need to be. What is coming up for you, Bucky?
Let me find it. There was a thing about time, or about, actually it's about time speeding up, and about light speeding up. And light starts in its origin of light, and it shines out into the cosmos, into the universe, into the earthly realm. And we feel like, a lot of times we feel like time is speeding up. And the thing is that it's not necessarily that time is speeding up. It's that light is getting closer. And the closer light comes to us, the more the darkness dissipates. And when darkness is completely consumed or completely dissipated, light is going to cause what is present to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that the more we focus and the more that we press into releasing the light into these dark areas, the more and more it's going to dissipate. So it's like, this is like the quantum physics part of it, that the speed of light will literally overtake the darkness and cause it to disappear.
Like you said, it's physics, right? It's nothing more, nothing less. Like, if you shine light on shadow, the shadow will disappear. That's just how it works, right?
Yeah.
Darkness is the absence of light.
Yeah.
Cold is the absence of heat. So,
and it's a choice.
It's a choice, exactly. It's the frequency of light is a choice. Just like we were doing earlier with Anna, when I said, the 85, is that enough for you? Like, what are we choosing? Are we choosing the standard of 100 and beyond, or are we willing to allow some space for darkness? No, we're not. And sometimes we're not aware that unconsciously we're leaving space for darkness, which is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're evil. It's just that living in this reality, we're just not fully aware that that's what we're doing. And again, it comes to the point where, like, doubt or shame or insecurities, or right, all these things which seem part of life, we're still allowing it when we don't have to. And that's where we start. We just start by choosing love and light. We start by choosing high frequency and just becoming aware of the fact where we're not choosing it. And if we know where we're not choosing it, we can choose something else. So, yeah, I love that. Anything else from somebody else? If you don't feel like speaking, you don't have to, but if you feel like there's something you want to say, raise your hand. Flynn, you want to say something? Let me switch you with Bucky with the slide.
Yeah, it was a bit funny about the warriors. It felt like wandering. They were wandering. And then I had a song in my head, and it's I don't know if you know it, but it's zipping up my boots, going back to my roots. So I looked up the lyrics, and I will put them in the comments because I thought it was matching to what we were saying here.
Oh,
So I'll put it in. Oh, it's it's not as nice as it was on the website, so it's all buckled up. But the text is for me, it was these warriors have been wandering, and the opening up of last year of the flood opened up the possibility of them stopping the wandering. So now Anna has been able to stop them wandering.
Let me read it right here. Let me see
Yeah.
if I can read it, as the text is a little bit mixed here. Zipping up my boots, going back to my roots, to the place of my birth, back down to earth. I've been standing in the rain, drenched and soaked with pain, tired of short time benefits and being exposed to the elements. I'm homeward bound, got my head turned around, zipping up my boots, going back to my roots, to the place of my birth, back down to the earth. Ain't talking about no roots in the land, talking about the roots in the man. I feel my spirit's getting old. It's time to recharge my soul. I'm zipping up my boots, going back to my roots, to the place of my birth, back down to earth. Wow. Yeah, I could really get a sense of, especially now reading the lyrics, I feel the energy, and that was also the energy that I felt with Anna when she was saying, like, they were just standing there in front of her and just saying, oh, I'm so done fighting. I'm so tired. Like, I don't want to fight anymore. Why am I still fighting? Like, they've been fighting for centuries. And as I said, like, a lot of people think when people die, they suddenly get conscious and go to the light. Like, that is not necessarily true. And especially when people die in trauma, right? If people just get murdered, or they die in war, or they die in an accident or whatever, they actually don't know what to do with their soul. Many spirits don't even know that they're not alive anymore, and they feel like they need to keep on doing what they were doing while they were alive, and they just keep going. And their soul have just been going on for centuries, and they don't know about time, right? Time is something that we do on Earth, and they've been doing this for so long. And as they were saying to Anna, like, we actually just want to stop fighting. Can we give it to you? Can you help us? And I think this is so powerful, because this is where we see how Anna was just holding that power and authority, and they were actually looking up to her, like, please help us. Please save us from this loop that we're in. And we just actually want to go back home. Can we go back home? And whether that's the earth, or whether that is something that people want to call heaven or light, I don't even care what that is, right? It's just that they want to go back to their
Yeah, which also makes that the ground is now no longer in anger.
Oh, yeah.
So now this could mean that Anna really started the light that can shine, because this could be holding it back. Because if people are fighting for something, they don't even know that they're still fighting. The light is hard to get through, and now Anna has given them the chance to go, so they no longer withhold the light that people are trying to shine on the good side of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, if it feels like the possibility of changing how should I put this? Changing the energy in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love, thank you for pointing that out, because the thing that I know will happen is, if you want to change something, it doesn't help wanting to change something in the physical. If you want actually change something, you change it in the energy first, then the physical will change automatically. That's how manifestation works. And that's basically what Anna did. It's also what Bucky did when Bucky was talking about the land and releasing that energy, and the land basically saying, oh, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could choose this. Can I? And it's like, and that's what facilitation does. It's like you allow these energies to choose something else, to choose something different, because you don't have to choose to fight, right? You don't have to choose war. You don't have to choose to hold on to pain and regret. You can release it. And if the land doesn't know how to release it, and if the spirits don't know how to release it, then how do the people that are living right now know how to release it? And as in the energy, we're allowing the spirits and the land to release it, the people don't have to hold on to it anymore. It's gone. It's literally gone in the energy, and that is how it will disappear in the physical. Because if it doesn't exist in the energy, it doesn't exist in the physical, because that is what happens next. So I really want to, first of all, honor all of you just to be here and to hold this space, because it will change something. Trust it. Know that it will change. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind that this will shift. This will shift. Just by you being here and showing up and being willing to do all of this. So thank you for that, first of all. And I don't know, whatever will show up, whatever we might get to do next, right? Maybe this is not just a one-time thing. Maybe we want to repeat this. I don't know. We'll see.
You know, it comes to mind as well that many times when darkness overtakes a place or a thing, it's usually because at some point there was blessings of the Lord in that place, and like I was talking about earlier, how the goodness left the land or left the place, and the darkness overtook it, and it puts on this facade that the darkness won't go, simply because it doesn't have to, because nobody's challenging the fact that it's not necessary anymore.
Right.
And so when we step into a place, we have this opportunity to go to these elementals and these stoichion and rudimentals and the beings that stand protecting those darkness things, or the stand protecting the land or the place or the thing, whatever it might be. We have an opportunity to go to them and just invite them to remember who they are and where they come from. And what I mean by that is that Creator, in my instance would be Father God, created them as who they are, and they have an opportunity at this point to stand with us and join us in our time at becoming full-blown sons of God, in releasing the goodness and the light back into the land. Or it can choose not to, and if it chooses not to, then we have the authority to simply remove it. So instead of usurping authority over it and forcing the issue to force these things to leave, the gentleness and the kindness and the love and the goodness of going to these things and inviting them to join us in love and goodness and kindness shifts the whole atmosphere. It shifts everything about it, and it allows us to step into a new realm of love and light that most people have yet to understand that even exist, if that makes any sense. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
It does to me. Yeah, thank you for that. It's exactly what I saw, what happened as Anna was setting these soldiers free. All these warriors that were just so tired of fighting and didn't even know they could turn in their armors, right? It was like, can we just give it to us? And as she was willing, she could just see them shift. She could see them light up. She could see them like, finally, thank you. Thank you. And that is what I want to invite many of you in, to just being that energy for the things that we cannot see with our own eyes. Like, you don't know what power you hold. Like, you hold the power of assisting these energies, of assisting these entities when they're like, can we please stop fighting? Can we please? And it's like, yeah, like I give you the choice, the freedom to choose that. Like, do you need a helping hand? What do you need? And I feel like that's also what we're here for. So do you need a clearing? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll give you a clearing. What do you need? Do you need permission to step into the light? Yes, okay, I'll give you permission to step into the light. What do you need? Well, I want you to take over my armor. Okay, give it to me. I'll take it from you and I'll release it into the light. I'll release it into the land. Whatever it is that you require, I'll do it for you. And it's that thing where they didn't even know that was possible. Maybe you didn't even know that that was possible, but that's what you get to do. And this is immediately where I also want to tell you that this is what we can also do with the armies of angels that are ready to come into the earth, that come into this realm to just be the light. Right? You hear a lot of people talking about these legions of angels that are ready to come and support us. Well, they are not, I mean, they're waiting because we're not letting them in. Just invite them in. Just say, hey, angels of light, come and help us. Come and shine your light. Come and make us stronger. Come and make the world a better place. You need to be willing to be that army commander and tell those angels to come in because you hold the authority. And all you have to do is say, I'm letting you in. Come on, play with us. Shine the light. Go in front of me. Go and shine. So there cannot be darkness. And that's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be that hard. And we're making this so freaking hard. What if this is it? What if us coming together in sessions like this, and that's all we need to do? We're just redirecting the energy. We're just shining more light. And what if us choosing this would just shift and change the frequency of the planet? And then we just go ahead and we enjoy life. We play some more. We enjoy nature. We enjoy each other. What if that's all we have to do? What if that's all we have to be? And that's where the question comes in, like, are you willing? Like, it sounds too good to be true. Is it really that easy? Are you willing to make it that easy? Or do you want to make it hard? Do you want to make it difficult? Do we want to try to solve it in the physical? Do we want to take the 3D approach? Let's solve the issue and let's change things and let's do things and let's make it hard and let's find a solution. What if this is it? How much easier would it be if more people would choose this? Let's be that invitation. Let's be that invitation to love and light and grace and peace and ease of living and just enjoying life, celebrating life. What if you choosing to be that in the world would change the world? Just this morning, I was reading a part in scripture where it says in Thessalonians, to be ambitious about living a quiet life, to have the ambition to live the quiet life, right? Not to have the ambition to have a successful career or to have any other ambition, just the ambition to live a quiet life and just mind your own business. Just mind your business. You worry about yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Just worry about you. And worry about you being you. Just be you. Just do you. Whatever that looks like. But don't make it so freaking hard. Padua says, it was an honor to be part of this. Well, it was an honor to have you here. Thank you for having you here. And I especially want to thank Anna for opening this door of opportunity. Opening this door of opportunity for the light to just flow through us.
Thank you for taking this opportunity.
Yeah, you've opened a door to create something greater. And I hope you acknowledge it, or maybe you could just, look at the recording again, just watch the recording, because there was something powerful going on with you. So the things that you perceived and the things that you so easily shared with us, that was freaking amazing. So I hope you can acknowledge that. And I don't know if this was normal for you, or you were like, wow, this was something new and I didn't even know that I could do this. Well, whatever it is, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that was totally an interesting experience. Absolutely.
Good. And how does it get any better? Because as you were doing this, and definitely watch the recording, but as you were doing this, I saw some capacity and power coming from you. And I know everybody on this call recognizes it.
Wow.
And there's something major that you're meant to do. And this was only one step. This was only a small part of what you get to do. And this was already intense.
Yeah, it was intense for sure.
Yeah. And what else is possible now? And this is a question, and I got this from Access Consciousness. Like, what else is possible that we haven't considered? Right? Like, you're a freaking gift. We all are a gift. Everybody on this call is a freaking gift. And what else is possible now that we haven't considered? If this is possible, what else is possible? If we can do this with a small group like this, what else is possible that we haven't considered? And Philippa says, such an honor. Thank you. And thank you, babe, for being here. Thank you so much. There's so much more. Philippa is in South Africa right now. Oh, sorry, Anna, I'll give you, I just want to say about Philippa, she's in South Africa right now. And Philippa and I have a lot of conversations about the earth and the energy of the earth and whatever it is, and communicating with the land. So I'm sure we'll have a follow-up at some point. Sorry, you wanted to say something, Anna?
Oh, I just wanted to say how grateful I am for this meeting and for all your time and energy that you all put in here. It means a lot, really.
I'm so super grateful. Thank you for everyone. And also, I perceive that we actually need more of these in the future going forward.
I hear you.
Yeah, I perceive this is the first of many to come. And I'm sure we've created amazing things with this. I can feel the energy has shifted.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a big shift.
Right. I think we all do. And
Thank Anna for opening the door. That was cool.
right. Yeah. I really sense this high energy right now, and this very intense sense of gratitude. So there's this huge, like, thank you guys for all of this, not coming from me, but like coming from the spirit, saying thank you for being willing to be part of this and being willing to open up, and whatever this will create. Like, and let's not go into conclusion, like whatever this is, let's just keep asking questions and be open to the energy and receiving the energy. And I know this all will unravel in the next couple of days, if not weeks. Something will shift and something will come to the surface. And maybe even something will come to the surface that doesn't look good, right? That's also what happens. Let's not go into judgment of what is showing up. But sometimes something will show up like the flood, right? The flood was something that on the outside looks like something terrible, but it was actually something that wanted to show something. And also something good could show up, something that we consider to be good. So let's not go into conclusion. Let's keep asking questions. Let's see what wants to be revealed. And let's just be open to receive. Anything else? Any last remarks or questions or things that you want to share before we end this session? We're good? All right, well, I will end the recording and I will end the live stream for now. Let me go to the other page.